Hello, everybody. This is the second part of the chapter 2.1, and we will talk about the matrix multiplication. And so basically, when we multiply two matrices, it's just an updated version of the multiplication of the matrix by a vector. For example, if we have our matrix A, which consists of the three columns, and just for convenience, I color-coded these columns of the matrix A. And we multiplied by another matrix, let's call it B. And again, for matrix B, I use entry as a letters. But again, it consists of three columns, which we'll call B1, B2, and B3, just by the order. And the nice definition in our chapter 2.1 telling us that when we are multiplying two matrices A and B, the resulting product matrix consists of the columns formed by linear combination of our matrix A and the appropriate column. Okay, and our columns used as a weights. But okay, it's probably when you read this definition, it was pretty confusing. Let's just try to do an example. Let's start from the first column. We denote it as A times B1 because we multiply matrix A by the column B1. So let's explicitly write it down. AB1 is a first column of resulting matrix, which means we use the first column of our matrix B as weights, and we multiply them by the matrix A. So basically we take the first column of matrix A and multiply it by the first entry of B1A. Then we take the second entry of vector B1B multiplied by the second columns of matrix A. And finally, we will take the third entry of our column B1 and multiply it on the third column of the matrix A. And then we calculate this linear combination, which is hopefully at this point is not a problem for you. Okay, let's look at the second column. Again, because it's a second column, we will use the column B2 as our weights for the linear combination. We take first entry D multiplying by the first column of A, second entry E multiplied by the second column of A, third entry F to the third column of A. So hopefully you've noticed the pattern here. Let's try to do it the third time. So we are looking at the third and final column of our matrix B, which call AB3. And we are calculating the third column. So the third column of our matrix B, B3, will be our weights. First weight G times first column of A, second weight H to the second column of A, and third weight I to the third column of A. So it's kind of probably sounds a little bit more familiar, but let's just try to do an example to work in practice what we just learned basically in a cartoon version. Okay, so let's look at two matrices, A and B, and let's try to calculate their product. And we start with the first column of resulting product matrix, which is a product of our matrix A times the first column of matrix B. So first column of the product matrix, first product of the B. So we will calculate it. And again, we just doing like just our favorite matrix by vector multiplication. So first column multiplies on the first row and so on and so forth. Okay, let's look at the second column. Again, we keep working with the same matrix A we started with. We never switch from that one. But now the vector we're multiplying it in is the second column of matrix B. And again, we just perform the calculations, get the vector. Finally, the third vector, okay, we use third vector column of matrix B and multiplied by the matrix A. And again, you see the matrix A isn't changed, but our vectors will multiply going from first, second, and third to form first, second, and third column of our product matrix. Okay, so we've done now with our columns. So all we need to do now is just put them together, one after another. First, AB1, second, AB2, and the third is AB3. Okay, we're done. That's the matrix. That's the product. And although this is a pretty straightforward calculation, sometimes it takes too much time to calculate. So another common way to calculate the product of two matrices is using a row column rules. So basically, to find the product matrix element, or in the position I, J, we are taking the row I, column J, and we multiply element by element. So for example, first element of column I multiplied by first element by column J, second element of column I multiplying by second element of column J, and so on so far. It's probably, this definition look overwhelming when you look at first time, so it's required to continuous calculations. So find the example, like use the same example here and calculate using it the row column rules. It will go pretty slow first. You will be very confusing. Who's the I, who's the J's? If you're confused, go into the first part video and check on the definition of rows and columns indices again. But after you've done 3 or 4 row column rule computing, you will feel much more comfortable. Unfortunately, the only way to obtain this skill is through practice. So take the examples and practice, practice, practice. And I'll see you in the part 3 of this series.